Lovely. So are you all jubileed out? I must admit, I was quite glad to get to back to some kind of routine. It's like Christmas. I didn't know what day it was or if the shops are open. But I was thinking actually about the Queen and how astonishing she is for her age. And it was interesting because clearly that had struck a chord, because there's quite a lot in the press at the moment and on podcasts about ageing well and what we can do to age well. And I was listening to All in the Mind last Wednesday, the Radio 4 programme. I don't know if any of you listened to it, it's fascinating. And there was a little article that really caught my attention on that theme. And it was by a guy, presented by a guy called Darrell O'Connor, who's an Irish doctor and a doctor of psychology. And he's been investigating the effect that mindset and our attitudes towards aging can have on our physical and mental decline, which I found fascinating. And he said people tend to fall into one or two camps when it comes to getting older. They might have a gains mindset about what age brings, new skills, wisdom, life experience, not really caring anymore what people think about you, a kind of liberation. Or they have a loss mentality, maybe that loss of identity if they've given up work, or maybe the children have left home, feeling less needed, assuming and anticipating that you're going to get unhealthy and unwell as you get older. And he referred to a study, a longitudinal study that's been going on in Germany for 23 years, looking at these beliefs on longevity and aging. And I found this fascinating. They've discovered that mortality was twice as high in people who are of a loss mindset. Absolutely astonishing. And they're doing a similar study in Ireland at the moment with very, very similar condition, with very similar outcomes. And the next stage of the process in both Germany and Ireland is to find out why. Why does this have an effect on us? It's likely to be a combination of psychological, physiological and behavioural mechanisms that all play into this. But I thought, what a wonderful thing. And yoga is one of those exercise lifestyles, whatever we want to refer to it as, that's often spoken about when it comes to aging, because we really can continue to do it whatever age or stage we're at. I teach chair yoga to a group of people who are less physically active, shall we say, than my ordinary mat class, and yet come and do a yoga practice with me twice a week. So, and it teaches us functional movement as well, which all the experts say is really important for us as we get older. So let's all age well today. We can put away the Botox and just do a bit of face yoga instead, far cheaper. So we're going to start seated today. So if you need to pop yourself up on a cushion or a block, feel free. Legs can be in whatever position. You can lean up against a wall, you can stretch the legs out, you don't have to sit cross-legged. Whatever position you're in, just take a moment to get nice and comfortable across your sits bones. Drop some weight down into your seat. Allow your knees to relax if you're sitting cross-legged. And see if you can lift up and out of your hips, feeling the spine and the chest open without feeling kind of constricted and rigid in that position. You've got an ease there. If you really want to lie down, then feel free to do that. Lovely. If you're seated with me, let's just draw the shoulders up towards the ears for a moment, almost gathering up and inviting tension. And then feel the shoulders slide down away from the ears. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in, gathering up all of that tension. And exhale, release the shoulders. Allow your chin to drop down ever so slightly. I invite you to close your eyes or just fix your gaze on the floor in front of you. Start with a little breath-based meditation. So just for a moment, allow yourself to become as still as is comfortable. So the only movement you can feel is the movement from the inside out, the breath moving the body and the body being moved by the breath. You might feel a lifting and opening, an expansion, if you will, as you inhale. Maybe feeling a softening back down towards your centre, releasing into your hips, relaxing the knees as you exhale. And as you continue to take a few more rounds like that, just arriving at your practice, leaving behind whatever might have brought you here to your mat this morning. See if you exhale, when you exhale, you're not kind of collapsing in the body. We're still keeping that easy upright posture. Without, again, feeling rigid or forced. And if you're with me, you want to start with this little visualization with your breath. Just bring your awareness to the tip of your nose. On your next inhale, imagine breathing up the bridge of the nose, all the way up to the top of the head. And as you exhale, exhale from the top of the head, down the bridge of the nose. So inhaling up the bridge of the nose to the top of the head. And exhaling from the top of the head to the bridge of the nose. So continuing with that, if that serves you this morning. And that little anchor of the visualization just helps begin to calm and settle the mind. Sometimes at the beginning of a practice, our mind is elsewhere. All the things we have to do for the rest of the day, the rest of the week. Maybe mulling over events that have occurred in the days running up to our practice. So just using the anchor of that little visualization, inhaling up the bridge of the nose and exhaling back down just helps to give us a focus, give the mind something else to do. A little yoga trick, if you will. Let's just take a few more rounds like that, feeling yourself become a little calmer, a little steadier as the breath begins to settle. And as you just let go of that visualization, allow the breath to return to a state of effortlessness, if you will. We'll bring the hands together at the heart. Just lift your chest a little bit up towards your thumbs nestled in the center of your chest. Drop your chin down, maybe have a little roll of the head from side to side, finding some space in the back of the neck. And then we'll lift the chin, blinking the eyes open if you've not done so. Going to interlace the hands and push the palms forwards and up as you inhale. And as you exhale, just push the arms out to the side as you bring them all the way back down. Hands coming back to the heart. We'll interlace the hands. Inhale as you push forwards and up. And exhale as you release. Lovely. Bringing the hands back to the heart. One more time. Inhaling up. This time as you exhale, go ahead and bring the hands all the way behind you. Fingertips can point in whatever direction is comfortable, so you can just lift the chest, lift your chin, little arch of the back as you open up some space. And then just look at your legs if they're crossed, see which leg is in front, and go ahead and change the leg. Might feel a little bit uncomfortable now, we tend to sit in our most comfortable position. Hands coming back to the heart, but this time as you interlace them, move down one finger. So you've got the other little finger on top, it might feel a bit strange. Inhaling up. And exhaling all the way down. Again, interlacing the hands the awkward way, inhaling up. We get into these patterns of movement, so really good just to shake things up a little bit, exhaling down. Hands coming back to heart, last time inhaling up. And let's pause there, have a little moment there, maybe just stretching into one side of the body and then the other, little wiggle into the hips there. And then pushing the palms up, we'll take an inhale. And this time as you exhale, we'll take a twist over to the right. So go ahead and bring your left hand to your knee or your thigh there, whatever feels comfortable, maybe to your shin or your ankle. Seeing if you can maintain that nice upright posture as you start to turn the head, opening up into the back. Lovely. Now just bring that right hand down by your hip, coming into a side stretch. Let's reach the left arm up and over. And as you lean into that right hand, can you press your hand down into the floor so we're not collapsing in the underneath waist? Pull back a little bit into both sit bones, especially that left one. Lovely, you can tuck your chin in as you find some space. Beautiful. And then bring the left fingertips over the top of the head. As you sit yourself upright, fingertips on your ear will draw the head over to the side. you want a little bit more, go ahead and creep your right hand away from you a little bit like a little spider. Gentle pressure between your head and your hand and your head as we stretch the neck. And then slide your hand to the back of the head and gently press your head forwards and down. You've still got that little tilt of the head. And again, there's a little bit of resistance between your head and your hands there. Lovely. Let's go ahead and release. Bring the hands down. Feel free to change the cross of the legs if you wish. Hands coming to heart, interlacing them. Let's sweep the arms up, again pausing, having that little wiggle, that stretch into each side of the body. We'll take an inhale. And this time as you exhale, we'll twist in the other direction. So bringing that back hand quite close towards your sit bones. You're sitting up nice and tall as you get some movement through the upper back there. Maybe the head starts to turn. Lovely. So this time it's the left hand that comes down to the mat and the right arm that sweeps over the top of the head, pulling back into that right sit bone. You can gaze up or down, whatever feels most comfortable for your neck this morning. And again, press the floor away with that left hand so you really feel you're not collapsing in the underneath waist. Hand coming over the head. And gently draw your ear down towards your shoulder as you walk your fingertips away from you. So again, we're feeling that little stretch in the neck. Gently pressing head into hand, hand into head. Lovely. And then the hand comes behind you, behind your head, and you press the head very gently forwards and down. So again, you feel that little stretch and opening in the back of the neck. Again, we're not overdoing it. Lovely. Let's release. We'll bring the head up, bring the fingertips to the floor. Maybe just have a little roll again of your chin along your collarbones, just releasing into the neck. Maybe a couple of little circles there, one way and then the other, just releasing. Oh, that feels better. And then go ahead and find your way onto all fours this morning. Hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and just as we did in that side bend, pressing your hands down so we feel that we're not collapsing in the shoulders, a little bit of connection through your navel to your spine. And we'll come into our cat and cow here. So as you inhale, let your belly dip, your chest pull forwards, keep pressing into your hands. And exhale like an angry cat, tucking the tailbone. Just moving with your breath now, knowing that you can adjust the position of your hands, taking them wider this morning if you feel a little tight. Across your chest. Inhale, press into your hands as you gently bring the chest forwards. Try not to scrunch the back of the neck so we're not throwing the head back. We're just taking the chin a little ways away from the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Next time you're in that angry cat position, let's pause, tucking the chin in, pressing into your hands, and just start to move your hips from side to side, maybe bringing your ear to your shoulder. Lovely, so we get a little bit of stretch in the side body. And then coming back to center, widening your knees. You can always bring your big toes together for more stability. We'll start to circle the hips now. So beginning to bring a little weight into the wrists as well as you take your body round. It might become a little bit more sinuous. It might become a kind of figure of 8 shape. There's no right or wrong here. So just kind of move the body intuitively for a moment. Opening up some space in the hips into the shoulders. And then just reverse the direction you're moving in. So if you're going in a figure of 8, that could be interesting. Doesn't matter, just moving the body around. Lovely, getting us ready for our practice. Lovely. And then we'll come to stillness, walking your feet, your knees back underneath your hips there. Press into your hands now as you slide the right leg back behind you, ball of foot to floor. So firm up through the belly, have a little rock and roll backwards and forwards over the ball of the foot. And just check you haven't dropped your head there. So just bring your gaze slightly forwards so the neck is protected. Beautiful. And when you rock forward this next time, I'm going to lift the leg up, hip height. Option to slide your left fingertips forwards, or maybe even lift the opposite arm. So right leg, left arm. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, extend, we look forwards. And exhaling, we squeeze everything to center. Lovely, twice more. If balance feels a little bit wibbly wobbly today, feel free to just move the leg or indeed just move the arm. Lovely. So this next one, let's take the arm and the leg out and pause. Option, just come out in the diagonal with those limbs and just see if that challenges your balance a little bit more. Lovely. Let's bring the hands down. We're going to step that right foot over the left foot, bringing the ball of the foot to the floor. Push the heel away as you look over that left shoulder. So drawing that left shoulder back behind you. Lovely. Coming back to center. And we're going to sweep that right leg all the way out to the side. Give it a little wiggle as you bring it just between your hands at the top of the mat, ready for a lunge. Let's sweep the arms up. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's release the arms all the way down. Lovely, twice more. So pushing into that front foot. Big breath in. And releasing all the way down. Lovely, one more time. Just beginning to tune into our breath. This time we'll bring the hands down. Left hand stays on the floor. I'm going to reach that right arm all the way up, so we're coming into a twist. Lovely, reaching up. And then when you come down, we're going to bring both hands to the inside of that front foot. Now pivot on that back shin. So you're going to flick your left shin behind you. Have a little look if you're confused. And then reach the left arm up to the sky, squeezing your knee against your upper arm. If it's too much to keep your hand on the floor, just rest your elbow on that front thigh. Lovely. Opening up into the hips. Beautiful. Let's release both hands down. Hands frame the front foot. Just bring that shin behind you. Come up onto the tips of the fingers. We'll take an inhale and exhale. Let's find a nice hamstring stretch. Maybe lifting the toes towards your face, but we're still kind of warming up, so don't worry if that feels a little bit too much. Beautiful. Let's roll through that front foot and we'll come back onto all fours. So from all fours, sit back down into your child pose, but just to take the wrists, come down onto your forearms and your elbows. Your elbows are roughly underneath your shoulders. Now the back of your wrist, the top of your wrist crease is going to stay on the floor, palms face up. Make a fist and curl your fist towards you, but keep pressing down with your forearms and the top of your wrist. So we're not lifting the hands off the floor, we're lifting the back of the hands off the floor, but everything else stays connected. Oh, nice stretch in the wrist. Go ahead and release. Finding your way back onto all fours, hands on the shoulders. We're going to try that on the other side. So left leg slides back. Rock backwards and forwards over the ball of the foot. Up through the belly, keep the neck nice and long there. I know I always drop my gaze, so try and keep your gaze forwards. And the next time you rock forwards, we'll lift the leg up. Option, slide the right fingertips forwards or lift the arm, turning the thumb up towards the sky. We'll take an inhale. Exhale as you squeeze your elbow to your knee. Inhale, extend. Woo! And exhale to squeeze. We're going to do that twice more. So again, this side might feel different, so if balance is a little bit wibbly wobbly today, just bring the hand down and work the leg. Inhale and exhale. Let's go ahead and extend and pause now. Lifting that front arm a little bit higher, taking arm and leg out in the diagonal if you're up for a little challenge this morning. And then we'll come down, hand under shoulder, and step left foot over right foot. So ball of foot to floor, push the heel away, draw that right shoulder back as you peek towards your heel there. Lovely, keep pressing into your hands, keep firming up through the belly there. Lovely, then bringing the head to center, then take that left leg all the way out to the side and just step or help it up to the top of the mat, foot between your hands there. Lovely, ready for that crescent lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, release. Apologies for the light keep changing. I think the clouds keep coming and going. Inhaling up. I've just brought all my washing in. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. And this time as we exhale, we'll bring both hands down. Right hand stays on the floor. Open up the left arm into a twist. You can look up or down as you reach up towards the sky there. Lovely. And then both hands come to the inside of that front foot. Now flick the right shin behind you, a little pivot on the knee. So this time it's the right arm that reaches up. Remember, you can always give yourself more space by bringing just your elbow there to rest on your thigh. If you've got the hand on the floor, we're squeezing knee into upper arm. Beautiful. Let's come all the way back down. Hands frame the foot. Go ahead and bring the shin behind you. Take an inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale, move the hips back. Maybe lifting your toes, maybe keeping the knee bent as you find your hamstring stretch, whatever works for you this morning. Oh, lovely. Let's plant the foot, coming back onto all fours, sending hips to heels. Again, bringing those elbows under the shoulders so your palms are facing up. Make that fist and then curl the fist towards you, pressing your forearms down, keeping the top of the wrist crease pressed into the floor, a little bit to stretch out through the hands there. Lovely. And release. This time, walk the hands forwards, come up onto tips of fingers. Allow your head to drop down between your arms, coming into that more conventional child pose now. Beginning to feel a little bit of stretch underneath the arms, into the side body there. Breathing into the ribs and the back of the body. Lovely. And then planting the hands, really come up onto all fours. And start to build a little bit of flow this morning. We'll do the first round nice and slowly, and then we'll add the breath. So tucking the toes under, finding a downward dog when you're ready. From your downward dog, just start to pedal out through the feet. Maybe upping the hips side to side, maybe even shaking the head just to free things up there. Beautiful. We're going to do a little version of our sun salutes, I guess. But again, we'll do the first round nice and slowly. So let's keep the right knee bent. Press your left heel down towards the floor and press your rib cage towards your legs. Pressing down through your hands, feel that nice stretch in the back of the leg. And then when you're ready, let's take the right leg all the way up behind you. Three-legged dog, come onto the ball of the underneath foot and step or help that front forwards. Top of the mat and lower the back knee. We're going to hook right thumb over left thumb and sweep the arms up towards the sky. When you get there, imagine you want to pull your thumbs apart. Maybe even lean back a little way so you feel the muscles of the upper back engaged there. Beautiful. And then we'll swim the hands down, framing that front foot. Pick up the back knee and step to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Go ahead and bend your knees, crave your elbows, maybe sway the body side to side as we take this first round nice and slowly. Keeping the knees bent as we take this sting out of the hamstrings. And hands coming to your shins or your thighs. Let's lift up into that flat back, chest coming forward, shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll fold back down into that forward fold. Press into your feet, root to rise, sweeping the arms all the way out and up. Maybe the palms touch above the head. And finally, the hands come down to the heart. We're going to come back the way we came. So sweeping the arms all the way out and up. Bend those knees as generously as you need to as you come down over the legs. Hands to shins or thighs. Let's lift up halfway. And then plant the hands and right leg slides back this time so you can bring your knee down to the floor. Again, right thumb hooks over left thumb. Just sweep the arms up. Again, imagine you want to pull your thumbs apart and maybe arch the back a little bit, looking up towards the sky, if that's okay on your back. A couple of breaths there as you feel that lovely lengthening through the side body. And then we'll swim the hands all the way back down. Lovely. Pick up the back knee. We'll step back into a downward dog. From your downward dog, we'll drop down onto all fours. Now keeping your toes tucked under, send your bottom back towards your heels, half dog. Little stretch into the fascia of the feet. The forehead might touch the floor, the head might hang. Lovely. Coming back onto all fours and back up into your downward dog. You're going to add the breath now. Now, if it's moving a little bit too fast, then feel free to slow it down, skip a little bit. Choice is yours. So let's bend the left knee this time and send your right heel back towards the floor. Left leg floats up on an inhale. And as you exhale, step or help it forward, top of the mat. Lower the back knee. Left thumb on top this time. Inhale as you sweep the arms up, maybe that little back bend. And exhale, bring the hands all the way down. Lift the back knee. And as you inhale, step to a flat back, top of the mat. And exhale to fold over the legs. Press into the feet, rise all the way up. Take a nice deep breath in. And breathing out, hands coming to heart. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale as you fold your way down over the legs. Lifting up into your flat back, fingertips to floor, shins or thighs. And as you exhale, step or slide, left leg back, bringing the knee down. Left thumb on top, sweeping the arms up. We'll take an inhale. And exhaling, bringing the hands down. Pick up the back knee, and as you inhale, step back into a downward facing dog. And as you exhale, drop down onto all fours, keeping the toes tucked under. Send your bottom to your heels, take a couple of breaths there. Do one more round, right and left, moving with the breath. So when you're ready, back onto all fours, coming up into your downward dog. Right leg lifts, take an inhale. Exhale, step or help foot forwards, top of the mat, lower the knee. Right thumb on top, sweep the arms up, take an inhale. Exhale as you release. Pick up the back knee, and as you inhale, step to your flat back. And exhale to fold. Let's rise on an inhale. Reaching the arms up above the head. And then bring them down to your heart. Exhale, lovely. All the way up, big breath in. Exhale, make your descent down into that forward fold. Finding your halfway lift, breathing in. Right leg, step or slide back. Lower the knee. Right thumb on top. Inhaling up. And exhale, release. Big sweep of the arms. Pick up the back knee. And as you inhale, we'll step back in our downward dog. And exhale to lower the knees. Lovely. Send the hips back. Sit on your heels. Reach the arms forwards. Half dog. We've got one more leg to finish off with the left leg. If you've had enough, feel free to take a child pose. Ready to finish this off? Let's make our way back up into our downward facing dog. Left leg lifting. Take an inhale. Exhale, step or help it forward, top of the mat. Left thumb on top, so we're changing the thumbs each time. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Beautiful. Stepping to the top of the mat as you inhale into your flat back. And exhale to fold. Let's rise on up, finishing this off now. And hands coming to heart. Exhale, lovely. Inhaling up, just one more half round to finish off. Exhaling down. Lifting up halfway as you inhale. Last time to step or slide left leg back, lowering the knee. Left thumb on top, take an inhale. And exhale, come all the way down. We'll pick up the back knee, inhale into your downward dog, and exhaling onto all fours. This time flatten your feet as you send your hips back towards your heels, coming into your child pose, reaching the arms out in front of you. Take a couple of breaths there, steadying the breath off that little flow. An option, you can stay there, just having a child pose, or join me as we start to build up our little floor flow. Inhaling, coming up onto all fours. As you exhale, continuing to come forwards and down onto your belly, elbows tuck in. Lifting up through a cobra as you inhale, and back into that child pose. Exhale. We're going to do that twice more if it feels good. Inhaling to roll yourself up, and then exhale, slowly lowering yourself down. Lovely. Picking up the chest, we'll take an inhale. And all the way back down. Exhale, lovely. One more time if you're with me. Again, you can have a little rest. Feel free to sit this one out. If not, just enjoying moving with the breath this morning. Beautiful. We'll end in that child pose. Gorgeous. We're going to start to build our little flow. So I'm just going to turn around and face you. So I'll start to mirror you. So again, doing as much or as little as you want, finding your way back up into your downward dog. Beautiful. So if balance feels a little wobbly, I can give you an option for this one. So you're going to take the right leg up behind you. This time we're going to bend the knee to open the hips, dropping your heel to your bottom and pressing your rib cage back towards your thigh. And take 3 nice big circles there with that right knee, opening up into the hip. You can do this from all fours if this is too much this morning. After you've made that third circle, let's take the right leg all the way up and back behind you. We'll take an inhale. Exhale, step or help it top of the mat. Now, we're going to come into a high lunge, so hop your left foot out to the left. All 10 toes are facing the same direction. And slowly, slowly, work your way up into that high lunge, reaching the arms up towards the sky. Pop a little bend in the back knee and turn the palms forwards. Right hand is going to take hold of that left wrist. And as you inhale, we're going to reach up. And as you exhale, take a little side bend over to the right. Beautiful. Inhale, we're going to reach up. And as you exhale, open up into a warrior two. Lovely. Reaching the arms out to the side, gazing over your front fingertips there. I'll turn around the other way so I'm facing you. Beautiful. So soften into that front knee. And then reaching forwards as you inhale and exhale, take that front arm all the way up and back behind you. Lovely. Beautiful. Then we'll come all the way back to our warrior two, straightening the legs as you turn the toes forwards, hand to hips. So we're into a wide leg position there. Heels coming in, toes out. You're going to reach the arms out to the side. And right arm wraps on top of left arm as you find eagle arms. You might just bring your hands onto your shoulders, or you might find that full eagle pose. As you inhale, we're going to lift the elbows. And as you exhale, bend the knees and come down into that little horse. Try not to lean forwards as you start to shift the weight from side to side. Ooh. Beautiful. Lovely. Coming all the way back to center. Sweep the arms up as you turn the toes forwards. And then find your warrior two, turning that front foot forwards, opening up through the arms. Beautiful. Then reach the front arm all the way up and back as you reverse your warrior. And then windmill the hands down, frame that front foot. And we'll step back into a downward facing dog. Option to stay there, have a rest, or this time inhale to a plank pose. And as you exhale, bring your knees down and your chest down to the floor. Find that little cobra as you open up through the chest. And then we'll lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Have a little moment there, a little pedal out through the feet. I'm going to try all of that on the other side. So left leg lifting this time. Bending the knees, you open up into the hip. And again, just press your ribcage back towards that supporting leg. And we'll start to circle that top knee. 3 nice big circles with that left leg. Beautiful. And then when you've done those 3 circles, take that left leg all the way up and back. And then step or help it forwards, top of the mat. Hopping that right foot out to the right. And finding your high lunge when you're ready. If you feel wibbly wobbly, you can always drop that back heel in so you're in more of a warrior one position. Lovely. Left hand takes hold of right wrist. I'm going to reach up and over into a little side bend. Try and keep your balance. Lovely. Inhale through center. And as you exhale, open up into your warrior two. Beautiful. Lovely. So again, bending that front knee. So we've got our left foot forwards this time. Inhale, reach forwards. And as you exhale, we're going to take that left arm over the top of the head. Beautiful. Into our reverse warrior. Coming back into your warrior two. Turning all 10 toes forwards as you bring the hands to the hips. Heels in, toes out. We'll reach the arms out. And this time, left arm wraps on top of right arm, hands to shoulders, or again, finding that eagle. Going to lift the elbows as you inhale. And as you exhale, take a little sink down into the legs. Maybe a little shift of the weight from side to side. Woo! Lovely. Keep those elbows lifted. Lovely. Coming to center. Let's reach the arms up, turning the toes forwards. And then finding that warrior two, bending into that left knee as you reach the arms out. Lovely. We'll reverse our warrior one last time. Left arm arcs up and back. And then bringing the hands down. Finding the floor, stepping back into your downward facing dog, having a rest here if you wish, or joining me. Inhale, take the body forwards to plank. Exhale to lower down. Finding that little cobra as you inhale. This time as you exhale, let's take it back into a child pose. Pausing there for a moment, catching the breath. We can do one more round, seeing if we can add a little bit of flow. So again, if you've had enough, you can always have a little rest, slowing it down. One more little flow, finding our way back onto all fours and finding that downward dog when you're ready. Lovely. So right leg lifting, take an inhale. This time as you exhale, step it forwards, top of the mat. Readying for that high lunge, we're going to sweep the arms up as you inhale. Taking hold of your left wrist, come over into that side bend as you exhale. Inhale through center. And as you exhale, open up into your warrior two, bending your right knee. Inhale, reach forwards. And as you exhale, right arm arcs over the top of the head. Lovely. Inhale to center. Back into your warrior. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your hips and turn all 10 toes forwards. Reaching the arms out, take an inhale. And as you exhale, right arm wraps on top of left arm, coming into your eagle. Lift the elbows, turn the heels in, take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's sink down into that eagle pose. That horse stance, eagle arms, elbows are lifted. Maybe that little shift of the weight side to side. You can keep your hands on your shoulders. It's too much here. Lovely. Let's come back to center. Release the arms up, turn the toes forwards as you breathe in. Finding your warrior two as you breathe out. Right arm arcs up and back. We'll take a breath in. And breathing out, let's bring the hands all the way down, framing that front foot. You're going to step back into your downward dog. Option to stay here or inhale to a plank. Exhale, knees lifted or lowered. Take it easy this morning if you need to. Finding your cobra or maybe an upward dog as you inhale. And exhale, we'll find a downward facing dog. Lovely. I'll come round to face you again. So last leg to do. Left leg, let's lift it up. Let's finish this off. Inhale. Exhale, step or help it through, top of the mat. Rising up into your high lunge, take an inhale as you take hold of your right wrist. And exhale, take that right arm over the top of the head. Inhale through center. And find your warrior two as you exhale. So this time we've got the left knee bent. Lovely. Reach forwards as you inhale. And exhale, let's take the arm all the way over the top of the head. Beautiful, into our reverse warrior. Coming back into your warrior, take an inhale. And exhale, turning the toes forwards. Beautiful. So we're going to wrap left arm on top of right arm, finding your eagle. Turning the heels in as you lift the elbows. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, sink a little deeper. Try and keep the elbows lifted. Maybe shift the weight from side to side. Yeah, warming up through the legs. Oh, your legs shaking, mine are. Coming to center, release the arms, turn the toes forwards, big breath in. And breathing out back into your warrior two, bending that left knee. Left arm, last time, arcs up and back. Let's take an inhale. And then we'll windmill the hands down, big breath out. Beautiful. Step back into your downward dog. Option to stay there or last time with me. Inhale, roll the body forwards to plank. And exhale to lower. Find your cobra or an upward dog. And then lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Take your feet a little bit wider apart. Drop back down onto all fours. Knees a little bit wider. Put your big toes together. And ease your way back into a child pose. Maybe make a little pillow for your head there as you just release into the hips. Maybe a little movement of the hips from side to side just to ease into them after that horse pose. Ooh, that's a stretch. We are going to stretch them out now. Lovely. And then slowly, when you're ready, when the breath is settled, find your way back onto all fours. Back up into your downward dog, but this time we'll walk your feet to your hands, coming to the top of the mat. Take your time to rise on up when you're ready. Coming up into your mountain. Beautiful. I'll turn around to face you. So we've done our eagle arms. We're going to finish this off by doing the legs as well. So it can be a tricky balance, but lots of options. And if you don't want to do the legs, you want to keep your feet as they are, feel free and just get a stretch into the arms. But feet are hip width apart. And just bring your hands to your hips so you get a little bit of feedback. We're trying to keep our hips facing forwards. So as you lift your right heel, it's going to cross my right leg over my left leg, crossing above the knee, and then squeezing the inner thighs together. I'm going to bend both knees a little bit more deeply. Now, if you want a little bit more, trying to keep those hips facing forward, this is where I'm going to stay today for the sake of my ankles. If you want a little bit more, you can wrap your top foot, your right foot, behind your left shin, like a little snake, little serpent. I'm going to keep my toes down. And reach the arms out to the side. Left arm on top as you find your eagle. Remember, hands to shoulders is a perfectly acceptable option there. Or we do that little double wrap. Sink a little deeper, squeezing the thighs together, lift the elbows, we'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, take a little forward fold, bringing those elbows down towards your belly button, pressing the little finger edge of your hand towards the floor if you're in that eagle pose. Beautiful. Let's lift the elbows up and reach the arms out into a big wide V shape. Now pick up your right foot. We're going to step the right foot out to the side. And coming into star pose, shift the weight into that right foot. You might come onto the ball of the back foot. You might be able to lift that left leg, turning the hips forwards, reaching the arms up. Ooh. Beautiful. We're going to step the feet wide, bend the knees, sweep the arms down and then all the way up. And then bring the hands to the hips, bring the feet together, and we'll try that on the other side. So it's a tricky pose with legs and arms, so feel free as you lift your left heel to stick with me by keeping the ball of the foot on the floor. As you bend the knees, we're squeezing the inner thighs together so those hips keep facing forwards. Arms out to the side. And this time it's right arm on top. Lovely. So again, hands onto shoulders, or finding that double wrap, shoulders away from ears, sink a little deeper into the legs, and then lift the elbows, take an inhale, and that little kind of folding into yourself. So your elbows are coming in towards your belly button, you're pressing the little finger edge of your hand forwards. Keep squeezing. You're going to lift the elbows, and the arms release into that lovely wide V shape. Oh, that feels good. Star pose. So we're going to pick up the left knee. We step out on the diagonal, and you might just add that little balance just coming onto the ball of the underneath foot, or see if you can lift the back leg, turning the hips forwards. Woo, I feel wibbly wobbly on this side. Beautiful. Let's step the feet wide. Take that nice release, sweep the arms down to come up. And then this time, bring the hands together at the heart, toe heel or step your feet underneath your hips. Take a nice deep breath in as you reach the arms up. And breathing out into your forward fold. Last time, inhale to come up halfway. And as you exhale, we're going to step back into your downward dog. Come straight down onto hands and knees, this time walking your knees and your ankles together. Just flick your shins round to one side so you can drop your bottom down and swing the legs effortlessly round in front of you. And give the knees a little shake. If you want to put a cushion or something underneath your bottom to sit yourself up a little higher, feel free. Pop a softness in the knees. Let's reach the arms up. Big breath in. Oh, take a lovely forward fold all the way down. Remember that lovely option of bending your knees and wrapping your hands under your thighs if your hamstrings feel a little tight today. Oh. Allowing your head just to hang as you draw yourself down over the legs without forcing. Staying there just for a couple of breaths. Beautiful. And then slowly, slowly, finding your way back up. We'll bring the right heel in towards your bottom, towards your groin, sorry, and allow that knee to open out to the side. You can always pop something underneath your knee if you need a little bit of extra padding there. So square up over that extended leg. We'll take an inhale and exhale to take a forward fold, Trying to relax your right knee down. So if it's uncomfortable, you can always slide that foot a little lower down your leg there. Easing the way down. Noticing if you're leaning to one side or the other, seeing if you can ease your way squarely over that leg there. Lovely. And then we'll walk the hands back. We're going to come into a little zigzag with the legs. So we're going to bring that left shin just behind you. If that's uncomfortable, just come to a comfortable seated position. Beautiful. If you're joining me in that little zigzag leg, try and sit down into your left sit bone so you're nice and upright. Take the arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, take a little twist around to the right, bringing that left hand across the body. Inhale through the center. And as you exhale, take that little twist around in the opposite direction. Again, trying to keep the spine nice and tall. Do one more each way. So it's a lovely rotation through the upper back, hips staying stable, sit bones staying even on the floor. Last time over to the left. Beautiful. And this time we'll come all the way back through the middle, bringing that right hand down just by your hip. I'm going to sweep the left arm in front of you. Now, option just to reach on the diagonal or press into your knees. See if you can lift your hips. You're gazing towards that back hand as you find a little hip and back stretch there. We've done a lot for the hips there, so we'll stretch it out this morning. And then we'll slowly, slowly lower all the way down. Give the legs a little shake as you swing them out in front of you. And we'll try that on the other side. Left heel coming in. Lovely. Let's reach the arms up. Take an inhale. And exhale, we'll come down over that right leg this time again. Trying to come squarely over the leg so we're not dipping the chest to the right or the left. I'm not looking at my watch constantly. I've got a new watch strap, and you know when you get used to your old one and it kind of molds itself to your body, you don't feel like you're wearing one. Well, this one hasn't reached that worn-in stage yet, so it's really uncomfortable. Oh dear, my other one had it though. Let's come all the way back up. It's looking quite tatty. We'll come into that little zigzag. So again, if this doesn't work for your knees or your hips, just come to a comfortable seated position. Press into your right sit bone this time so you feel relatively even there. Inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, we'll take a little twist around to the left. I'm constantly aware I'm wearing a watch, whereas before, inhale through center. I wasn't aware I was wearing it. It was so comfortable. It's like an old pair of shoes or slippers. Inhale through the middle, one more each way. Exhale. Oh, beautiful. Let's do one more. Over to the right. Lovely rotation through the upper back, rinsing it out. And then this time we'll bring left hand down just by your hip. Sweep the right arm in front of the face. An option to push the hips forwards. Take your gaze towards that back hand as we get that little hint of a back bend there. Lovely. And we'll come all the way down onto our bottoms. Swing the legs out in front of you. This time we'll bend the knees, plant the feet on the floor, and ease your way down onto your back. When you get there, bring one knee and then the other in towards your chest and have a little rock or a circle of your knees there. Gentle massage. Oh, beautiful. Lovely. And we'll bring the feet down to the floor. Take them a little bit wider, turning your heels in, your toes out, so towards the edges of your mat. Arms might be out to the side, like the top of a letter T. Or if your shoulders are nice and open after those eagle arms, maybe bring the arms over the top of the head and rest one hand on top of the other. You're going to drop both knees over to the right side, maybe rolling your chin to the left. Just pause for a moment, relaxing the buttocks. Bringing that nice, gentle rotation, just final movement up through the spine. And then when you're ready, moving through the middle. And then over to the other side. So this time maybe the head looks over to the right. Try and relax both buttocks there. So you're just getting that sense of release. And then like a little metronome, we'll tick tock with the breath. Inhale through the middle and exhaling over to the right. Then up through the middle and exhale to the left. Now as you continue just to roll over the back of your heels, if your arms are above the head like me, You might want to start to press your hips forwards in the same direction of your knees. So you might find your shoulder blade lifts a little bit and you get a little bit of stretch into the armpit. Again, not all backs and hips will like that. So feel free to keep the arms out to the side and keep the movement a little bit smaller as we just gently move the body gently from side to side. Let's do one more over to the right side. One more over to the left side. Lovely. And then we'll come all the way back through the middle, walking the feet back in towards you. Hip width apart this time as you lower the arms down alongside you. Palms flat to the floor, reaching your fingertips towards your heels. Pressing into your feet as you inhale, let's roll up into a nice shoulder bridge. Stretching the knees forwards. And as you exhale, slowly ripple your way back down through the spine. We're going to do that twice more. So as you inhale, press into your feet, pick up the hips. Try not to squeeze the bottom too hard. The kind of back seam of the body naturally engages. But if you want to add that little squeeze of your bottom at the top. Let's do one more like that. So inhale, pressing into your feet, lifting the spine up off the floor. And then rolling your way down. And you can do one more like that, or come up this next time and hold. Maybe shuffling your shoulder blades closer towards each other so you can interlace the hands underneath your back, pressing the little finger edge of your hand down. Chest coming towards your chin, chin coming towards your chest. Lovely, couple of breaths there. And come up onto your tiptoes, release the arms out alongside you. Maybe keep your heels lifted as you roll your way back down. And when your bottom touches the floor, go ahead and stretch both legs out in front of you. Reach the arms back above your head and have a lovely full body stretch there. Maybe stretching one leg away from you and then the other leg away from you so you can get a nice side stretch going on there. Beautiful. And then go ahead and lower the arms all the way back down alongside you, flicking your palms up towards the sky. If you want to keep your legs straight, go ahead and take them a little bit wider apart. Maybe roll across the back of your heels a couple of times before allowing your toes to roll open, your heels to rest in. If that's too much for your back, bend your knees. Walk your feet back towards you again, take them wide and rest your knees against each other. Ah, lovely. So arrange the body now in such a position that you can find a moment of stillness. Allowing the weight of the back body to accept the support of the floor and the floor just to take the weight of the back body. And again, we'll finish with a little visualization to again just seal our practice, that focus of the mind, hopefully leaving today feeling calm and collected and ready for the rest of the day. So bring your awareness to your belly button, your navel. And as you inhale this time, imagine the breath traveling up from your belly button to your heart. And as you exhale, back down from your heart to your belly button. So inhaling navel to heart center. And exhaling heart center to navel. One more time, inhaling up to your heart. And exhaling back down to your navel. This time coming a little higher, inhaling navel to the base of your throat. And exhaling from your throat to your navel. Do that twice more. Navel up to the base of the throat as you inhale. And down to your navel as you exhale. This time higher still, breathing in from your navel all the way up to the top of your head. And exhale from the top of the head down to your navel. Twice more like that. Maybe lengthening the breath now as you breathe up to the top of the head. And then down to your navel. Last time. And then extending the breath, this time breathing from the tips of your toes all the way up the body to the very top of your head. And breathing out, top of head, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Doing that twice more, all the way up the body, feeling maybe the body open and expand, tips of toes to top of head. And then top of head, all the way back down to tips of toes. Last time, allowing that breath to travel up the whole length of the body. And then travel back down again. And then once more, letting go of that and allowing the breath to become effortlessness. A state of effortlessness with the breath. Maybe noticing any changes that little visualization might have done. Maybe the breath feels a little more settled. As you begin now to deepen and lengthen each breath, add a little bit of movement, maybe to your fingers, your toes, maybe a little roll across the back of your head now. And if your knees are bent, feel free to stretch the legs out. Maybe take the arms back above the head, finding that full body stretch there. A little wiggle into the fingers. Maybe a little roll through the ankles and a twirl of the wrists there, just waking the body up. And then lowering the arms, walk your feet back in towards you, and then give your knees one final hug, one big squeeze. Maybe rock or circle side to side. And then wherever there's space in your room, to the right or to the left of you, just roll onto that side, into that space. And then when you're ready, come up to seated. Lovely. Oh, you all look 20 years younger. Bring your hands together at your heart. Drop some weight into your elbows as you just allow your chin to drop forwards. And I'll leave you with these lovely words on aging by Iris Apfel, one of my favourite fashion doyens. She's 100 years old now, quite an astonishing woman. And she said, who cares if you're 72, 82 or 92? If God is good enough to grant you those years, flaunt them. Indeed, wise words. And namaste, my lovely young yogis. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you, thank you. There we go.